and welcome to the Overshadow Shadowcast with your hostess. It's Abigail. Like I said last week, it's going to be me for the foreseeable future because Tommy has told me he still has no time to do this because he's very busy with his report for university, which I don't know how much longer it's going to take. So you're stuck with me, I'm afraid, for a little bit longer. I have been actually playing a game this week. I decided to sit down and play a bit of Spyro because it's pretty much the only game I can confidently play by myself, and I've managed to complete Ocean Speedway, which I'd been stuck on for a very, very long time. I actually had to look up a tutorial on it, which was kind of a bit demoralizing, I'm not going to lie, because it's a little kiddies game, but I had to look up how to do a part because it's a time-sensitive trial, so you start off with like 26 seconds and then the clock runs down, and every time you go through like a loop or you go through an arch or you blow up a speedboat or whatever, it adds time on, so like a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. But that last part, I kept like the clock kept running down before I had to finish, so I actually had to look up a tutorial, and I'd actually been doing one part incorrectly, so that was kind of a little bit demoralizing having to be able to do that. But yeah, I did it, and I managed to also get the skill point, which I'm trying to get as many skill points as possible, and inevitably I'm having to look up how to do that online because a lot of them are very, very well hidden in the game. You know, it's very interesting that they decide to make that part super chat. I'm guessing that the reason that they put these parts in is for people probably like a little bit older than what the game's really meant for, just to give them a bit more of a challenge. So I think Tommy's been playing some games, but he's not really told me anything about it, so I can't give much of a report on that, I'm afraid, but maybe he'll talk about it when he finds time to be able to do this. So I'm just going to move on to the stories, which I'm going to talk about. I've just got a couple today because obviously a lot of things aren't going ahead. E3 wasn't going ahead, all this kind of stuff. There's not much really to talk about this week. So the first one is regarding Cyberpunk 2077. So in June this year, 2020, Microsoft will be launching a bundle, a Cyber 2077 bundle. And I apologize if I say the wrong date for Cyberpunk 2077. A Cyberpunk 2077 Xbox One X bundle. The console will feature LED lights, custom panels, and glow-in-the-dark graffiti. The trailer for the launch, which I'll leave a link to in the description box below, hopefully I remember to do that, is short and simple with the characteristics of the game trailer. So if you know, like, the game trailers are quite how to describe, like, quite cartoon, but it's a game. But it's kind of, it's really hard. It's like a comic book strip almost kind of like effect. That's how I describe it. That's what it reminded me of quite a bit. They go on about how the console, they go about the console like you would advertising a car, so it has like little lines coming off of it and describe like LED, glow-in-the-dark graffiti and things like that. That it just reminded me of a car advert. The fact that this has been released in June is interesting, as the game itself has a release date of the 17th of September 2020. So as of recording this, that date has not changed. It's still going to go ahead at this present time. So they are releasing the console 3 months before the actual game comes out. I'm going to admit this is kind of a little bit odd. Normally the release of a custom designed console will nearly always coincide with the game. Originally, Cyberpunk 2077 was actually supposed to be released in April this year. Like I said, I know that when bundles come out, the game is released with the actual console itself, whether it be PS4 or Xbox. Desperately, I don't know if Stadia's not that. I don't know if Stadia's done that yet. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. So I think that maybe this is just a way to get people a bit more hyped up. And then there's also maybe they had originally wanted this to actually be part of the game, as like I said, that the original game, the game was actually supposed to be released in April this year, and it's now been moved back to September. But again, why release a console when you don't have the game fully ready? That's a bit odd, unless this is just a way to get people hyped up for the game, like, oh, I can't wait to actually play Cyberpunk 2077 on my Cyberpunk console. It does look pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie, but again, it's just a bit odd in my opinion. Unless there's going to be a big surprise maybe when they actually do release this. Maybe they're actually going to release the game then. Maybe this has just been a massive red herring that's going to be released in September. Who knows? But we shall see. So the last story I have for you guys is, I'm going to admit this is a bit of an odd one. So it was revealed this week that in 2018 Sony put a patent into the US Patent and Trademark Office for a little robot gaming buddy. Sounds strange. The patent includes a drawing of a robot that looks a bit like a cloud of arms, legs and eyes. The idea is the robot would be able to detect how the player is feeling, sad, happy, angry, etc. It would cheer a player on if they are winning, or console them if they lose. If they lose. It could also potentially be a playing companion in the game. The patent has also suggested that if a great enough bond is formed between owner and I've written owner and player. What I mean is owner and robot. Then the robot could also become a type of life management tool. So I'm not going to lie, this idea kind of creeps me out a lot. That if you can program something to take the place of what would be a human relationship of some kind, I can also see this having positive effects as well as negative effects. Yeah, this is a bit of a creepy one. I think it sometimes like over stereotypes the idea that all gamers have no friends, which is totally untrue. But the idea is that this could be like a real life avatar, that's really what it's going to be. The fact that it could become like a life management tool, it didn't really go into a lot of depth with that, but I'm gonna guess like, you need to handle this situation better, maybe, I don't know. By the way, I don't have a croaky voice, I'm just trying to be quiet because other people are working in the house, so I apologise for that. I'm fine, I don't have a croaky voice. There is quite a lot of, like I said, positive aspects of this where, if you have somebody that is maybe very isolated, maybe they don't have the ability to make friends easily or something like this, then this could kind of be like a process in which they do develop some sort of relationship. But then again, I can see this having a negative connotation where you have people who maybe won't put enough energy into trying to make friends in the real world and kind of rely on this, and maybe they get like 1,000 little buddies or something like that. So I found this quite interesting, that they're even going to create this kind of thing. It kind of reminded me of the idea kind of reminded me of a Furby, or like a robot dog or something like this, but more of a Furby, but hopefully they're not going to be as annoying. I hated those things. I remember looking after a friend's Furby over the weekend, and it drove us all so mad that we actually had to leave it on their door handle in a plastic bag going, we can't handle this. But they weren't home at the time. It's like, we just need to get this out of the house as soon as possible. So yeah, interesting. So we've got a new console coming out, well, a new design of a console coming out, and we've also got a possibly a playing companion buddy thing that may or may not ever materialize. Like I said, the patent was only put in 2018, so there's no actual plan that this might go ahead. Just because there's a patent for it doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. Maybe they're just future-proofing an idea. I think that's more lines of what's actually going to happen. So sorry it's been very short today. I think it's only been about 10 minutes or so, but that's really all I have to say today. So if you like what you heard, you can subscribe to our channel, you can hit that like button, you can hit the notification button for when we upload. I'm still looking at getting a monitor. Hopefully I'll have one soon, but having to deal with the limitation of deliveries at the moment, that's being a bit of a hindrance as well. You can, if you'd like to leave a comment down below, that'd be great. You can email us at overshadow.shadowcast@gmail.com, and you can see us on Facebook, which is overshadow.shadowcast. We're not utilising the Facebook page at the moment. Hopefully soon we will be. And I hope you guys are all just staying really safe and well out there. Hope everybody's okay. And if you'd like to come back next week, that'd be great, and listen to me. Again, no word yet on whether or not Tommy's actually going to be able to do any recordings. At the moment, it doesn't seem likely. Hey, maybe he'll surprise us. maybe he'll be able to do it. So all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for tuning in. And hopefully I'll be here next week again. Okay, bye-bye.